Sylvester Stallone arrived on Jimmy Kimmel's show, expecting a fun, lighthearted chat about his latest projects, but what unfolded on stage left both the audience and viewers stunned. From the beginning, there was an odd tension in the air. Kimmel started with his usual humor, tossing playful jabs at Stallone's age and action movie legacy. "So Rocky's still punching, huh? What's next? Strakey in space? Equipped?" Stallone forced a smile, replying, "If the check clears, maybe." But it was clear he wasn't amused. The tension only grew as Kimmel began referencing Stallone's past, including controversial headlines and personal matters. "You've had a few knockouts in real life. 2 divorces, family drama, the usual Hollywood stuff," Kimmel joked, expecting a laugh. Instead, Stallone's expression hardened. "Careful, Jimmy," he said calmly, but firmly. The mood shifted, noticeably, as the audience caught the discomfort settling in between host and guest. Kimmel, perhaps not reading the room, pushed further. He pulled up a throwback clip of Stallone doing an awkward dance on a 1980s variety show and played it for laughs. "This is gold," he shouted as the clip rolled on screen. Stallone stared blankly at the screen, clearly annoyed. "That was a long time ago," he said, voice low and cold. "We all have moments we'd rather not replay for comedy." Kimmel laughed. "Come on, lighten up. You're Rambo, not Romeo." But Stallone didn't laugh. Instead, he shifted in his seat and said, "Jimmy, there's a line between humor and mockery. You're about to cross it." The audience chuckled nervously, sensing a real clash brewing. But Kimmel pressed on, pivoting to Stallone's plastic surgery rumors, asking, "How do you keep looking so immobile?" Stallone stared at him in disbelief, then said, "Seriously? That's where you're going now?" The energy in the room dropped like a stone. Stallone's tone turned sharp, no longer amused. "I came here to talk about my film, not be turned into a punchline for ratings." Kimmel tried to backtrack, raising his hands. "It's all in fun, Sly. This is what late night is about." Stallone fired back, "There's funny and there's disrespectful. I didn't survive decades in Hollywood to be humiliated on national TV." The crowd shifted uncomfortably in their seats, sensing this wasn't staged. Kimmel, trying to save face, made another joke. "Guess I hit a nerve. Hope Rocky's not about to swing." But Stallone wasn't laughing. "I've dealt with critics, directors, and hecklers. But I didn't expect this from you, Jimmy." His voice was calm, but icy. It was clear he felt ambushed, and Kimmel's flippant attitude only made things worse. Attempting to regain control, Kimmel shifted topics to Stallone's family, thinking it would soften the tone. "Your daughters are models now, right? They ever give you fashion advice?" he asked. Stallone gave a short reply. "They're doing great. I'm proud of them." But Kimmel interrupted. "Do they tell you to ditch the leather jackets and sunglasses?" The audience laughed, but Stallone didn't. He stared directly at Kimmel and said, "You don't talk about people's kids like that, ever." Kimmel shrugged. "I wasn't insulting, just a joke." Stallone replied, "That's the problem. You hide behind jokes to justify being rude." Kimmel's smile faltered for the first time. "Hey, I'm not trying to offend you," he muttered, but Stallone wasn't buying it. "Well, you've done a good job of it anyway," Stallone snapped, now visibly angry. The audience clapped awkwardly, unsure who to side with in the growing tension. Things reached a boiling point when Kimmel pulled up a meme from social media mocking Stallone's speech style. "This one's my favorite," he chuckled, showing a photo with text that mocked Stallone's voice. The crowd laughed briefly, but Stallone had enough. "You went too far," he said, standing up. Kimmel tried to diffuse the moment with more humor, saying, "Come on, don't be so sensitive. It's all love." Stallone stared down at him. "That's not love. That's low," he said, voice raised slightly. "I've fought for every inch of my career, earned my respect, and this is how you treat a guest." He pulled off his microphone and dropped it on the chair. The audience gasped. "I don't need this," he added, and without another word, Stallone walked off stage. Kimmel sat frozen, unsure how to proceed as the camera panned across a stunned audience. Immediately after the walkout, social media exploded. Clips of Stallone removing his mic went viral within minutes. Hashtags like Stallone walks off and Kimmel too far began trending. Fans were divided. Some supported Stallone, saying he stood up for himself against a disrespectful host. Him claiming he overreacted to standard late-night banter. Celebrities chimed in too. Dwayne Johnson tweeted, "Respect always. Some jokes ain't worth it." Meanwhile, Kimmel's team scrambled to spin the incident. "We love Sly and meant no offense," the show's Twitter account posted. But it was too late. The video had already made headlines. Viewers flooded the show's comments with mixed reactions. Some called for an apology, while others told Stallone to lighten up. Regardless of opinion, one thing was clear. This wasn't your typical Hollywood interview. It was a moment that no one watching live would ever forget. The following day, Stallone issued a brief statement. "I've got no time for cheap shots. I came to talk about my work, not be a target," his publicist added. Sylvester values meaningful conversations, not mockery disguised as humor. This reinforced the narrative that Stallone saw jokes as personal attacks. Meanwhile, Kimmel avoided addressing the walkout on his next show. He delivered a generic monologue, steering clear of the subject entirely. But media outlets weren't letting it go. Talk shows, entertainment news, and blogs ran with the story, dissecting every frame of the confrontation. Body language experts analyzed Stallone's glare. PR analysts debated whether Kimmel should apologize. Late-night hosts took sides, with some joking at Kimmel's expense. It wasn't just another celebrity moment. It became a national conversation about respect, boundaries, and the fine line between humor and humiliation. Even longtime fans of Jimmy Kimmel expressed concern over how far he had gone. Several said they loved his wit but felt the segment crossed into unnecessary cruelty. Stallone, known for his gritty characters, was seen as someone who rarely loses his cool. That he walked off live TV spoke volumes. Behind the scenes, sources claimed that Kimmel was advised to reach out privately to Stallone to smooth things over, but no confirmation came from either side. In Hollywood, where reputations are currency, neither wanted to appear weak, but the public had already chosen sides. Fans flooded Stallone's socials with support, calling him a legend for standing up for himself. Kimmel's comment sections weren't so kind. Many called for a more respectful tone going forward. Others simply asked, why burn bridges with someone like Stallone? The damage had been done and trust had been broken. As days passed, new headlines took the spotlight, but the Stallone-Kimmel clash remained a talking point in media circles. The confrontation became symbolic of a deeper issue, how entertainers are treated when they stop playing along. Stallone was praised for drawing a line, not with violence or insults, but with firm dignity. Meanwhile, Kimmel's brand took a subtle hit. His usual guests seemed more reserved, more cautious. The vibe had shifted. The Stallone walkout now served as a cautionary tale. For talk show hosts, it was a reminder that even big stars have limits. For audiences, it was a moment of authenticity in a world of rehearsed smiles. And for Stallone, it was another battle fought not in the ring, but on stage, where respect matters as much as reputation. In the end, the clash between Sylvester Stallone and Jimmy Kimmel wasn't just about one night or one joke. It reflected the broader tension between celebrity and media, between humor and humiliation. Stallone walked away, not because he couldn't take a joke, but because some jokes take too much. Fans who grew up watching him battle adversity on screen saw that. Same fighter in real life, calm, composed, but unwilling to be disrespected. Kimmel may have intended laughs, but what he got was a lesson in boundaries. As Hollywood evolves, these moments matter. They define who we admire and why. Stallone's walkout was more than dramatic. TVIT was a statement that even legends don't owe you a laugh when dignity's at stake.